Hey, how you doing? So you may notice that my tank has now 12 cardinal tetras in there. I went down to April's Aquariums in South Vancouver and got myself 12 cardinal tetras. I didn't really get them for this tank, but I'm liking them in this tank now, so I probably will leave them in here, yes. But anyway, today's topic is actually about our enemy, our mutual enemy, blackbeard algae, and also hair algae. So, this tank has been quite successful at keeping blackbeard algae away. And I've got two plants from my other 55-gallon tank in here that have blackbeard algae on them, and the blackbeard algae is actually going away. So that Java fern had quite a bit more blackbeard algae on it, and the back of the tank has some other kind of algae on it, but I've got an army of pest snails that are taking care of that. And then the Anubias, you can see that the new leaves are completely free of blackbeard algae, and actually the older leaf in the background is getting some green spots. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I think it comes out fairly well. Yes. So the blackbeard algae is actually disappearing from these plants, eh? So this aquarium is very successful at beating that blackbeard algae, and actually there's absolutely no hair algae either. I just wanted to show you my new bulbitis. I was thinking of changing out the Anubias for the bulbitis, but bulbitis is much darker green than I thought. I don't think it's gonna look too good here. So yeah, anyway, this aquarium is quite successful, with the fight against algae. Now the old aquarium, yes, I still have it up. So this one has not been successful at fighting algae at all, but it's not the tank's fault. It's the person who set it up that did it all wrong. Um, I think I haven't really discovered many new things. It's just that I didn't pay attention to the things that I was doing wrong. So I guess, well, partly because I was really frustrated and disappointed with the tank. I call it my COVID tank because it was just, oh, so many things went wrong, partly because of COVID, yeah. But the thing is, in order to fight blackbeard algae and hair algae, you have to have stem plants that are doing well. Fast growing stem plants that are growing at their maximum speed. I found that that really works in getting rid of the hair algae and the blackbeard algae as well. So in this tank, I've already actually started this fight against the algae. I think you can see the Anubias has some quite green, quite a bit of green. You can see a smaller one in the center of the screen and a larger one to the left. They both have, some pretty clean leaves already. And they were, you know, at the point where I thought I was going to lose them because they had so much blackbeard algae. So how am I doing this? I've actually done a couple things that have gotten rid of the hair algae altogether and caused the blackbeard algae to start deteriorating as well. So the first thing I did was I changed my light bulbs. Now, when I changed my light bulbs, I was just changing my light bulbs, just regular maintenance. But I realized afterwards that the old bulbs were 5,000 K and the new bulbs were 6,500 K. And as soon as I changed the bulb, so that was the only thing that was changing. The wattage was the same, the number of lights was the same, everything else was the same. It was just a color difference, and that caused the hair algae to all die off. So I'm thinking, but I really like 6500K. I don't know. It's just, the light from the 6500K just seems to be perfect every time, not only for killing off algae, but also for growing plants. So yeah, so before that, before I changed the light bulbs, I used to get a lot of hair algae in this corner where you see that fake wood is actually a piece from PetSmart. And there used to be hair algae all over that thing. And now it's all gone. I never get hair algae anymore. And that was the only thing I did to change from 5,000 to 6,500K. So I thought, why don't I try some trials? I won't call them experiments because to be an experiment, you have to have all kind of scientific things going on. This is not really scientific at all. It's just some trials. So I'm trying some things to see if I can get rid of all of the algae just by natural means. So I'm not going to do any scraping, not going to do any dosing with Excel, nothing like that. And I've already done one thing, which is to lower the light because I realized that I had too many bulbs over the aquarium. I didn't really calculate my wattage at all. So that's one of the things that I failed to do. It was my fault. I didn't work out how many watts I was putting on this aquarium. It was too much light. It had nothing to do with the sun that comes in the window. Oh my. I just did not do the homework. That's what happened. So yeah, so now I have reduced from 4 bulbs to 2, and I believe it is now 100 and something watts on 55 gallons. But remember that this tank is not filled to the top because it's way too heavy for the floor in this area. So I have it only filled to 30 gallons. So the 100 and I believe it's 120 watts. Yeah. 120 watts from 2 bulbs. And it seems to be just right because the blackbeard algae is going away already. So the light is part of it. Now, the other thing that I want to try is to get the plants growing really fast. So this rotala in the front, it doesn't grow fast no matter what you do. Rotala is a fairly slow growing stem, I find, in my experience. But you can see Limnophila sessiliflora on the right. So I just, not too long ago, put that in. And I'm hoping to put in some more of that because the new 55 needs a trim anyway. It's going to go to the barber next tomorrow, I guess. So it's going to get a trim, and all those trimmings are going to come into this aquarium. So I'm going to try one thing at a time. So I'm not being absolutely non-scientific. I'm being a little bit scientific because I'm only trying one thing at a time. So I'm going to plant up this aquarium. Plant it up with mostly the Limnophila because that grows very fast. Oh, and stargrass grows really fast too. So I probably will do a combination of Lim Alsace and stargrass. So after a couple of weeks of having it really heavily planted up, The next thing I would like to try is some carbon dioxide injection. So that will be just my yeast recipe. I'm not going to be buying any special equipment or anything. This tank has to come down soon because the silicone is starting to go on it, and I don't want to trust it very much longer than what I am. I think I've already gone past the safe. Yeah, we don't want it to be leaking, right? So we should take it down. But anyway, before we take it down, we're going to do these trials. So after I plant it up, I'll do the carbon dioxide and wait a couple of weeks again. And then after the carbon dioxide, I want to reduce the stock because right now it's very overstocked. I had 3 lemon tetras in here, which went berserk with the spawning, and now there are, count them. Oh, you can't count them, but I'll tell you. Now there is 19 tetras, and the older ones have died off. So this is 19 tetras that were born in this tank. So that's way too much, especially since there's, I think it's 1 skirt tetra left, and 3 diamond tetras and 1 serpy tetra. So all those fish in this 30 gallons is way too much, and I don't even, change the water that often. So I'm gonna try reducing the stock, and maybe that will help with the algae. And what else? What else can we try? I think that's it. Yeah, so we're gonna do the planting. We're going to do the addition of carbon dioxide, and we're going to be reducing the stock. And so we're not going to be doing any scraping, any vacuuming, no dosing Excel. We just want to see how each of those things will affect the algae growth in the tank. And I'm hoping to get some pretty good results. I think, yeah, at the end, maybe if it doesn't all come off, I will scrape it and just see how the tank looks. It's been very difficult getting this tank to look good on camera. It always looks way worse than it actually is. So it looks kind of dingy all the time. I don't know what it is I've done. I think it always looks like that when there's light-colored sand and darker decor, whereas the new tank has dark gravel and light-colored rocks, and that's why it looks so much brighter. Okay, so those are the things that we've already tried, and then the things that we are going to try. And we will get back to you and talk more about algae. Okay? And that's it for today. So we'll talk to you next time. Don't forget that we have a new Instagram. It may not be up and running yet, but there is a new Instagram associated with this channel. And so there'll be lots of photos and clips going up on there. Okay, so I will talk to you next time. Goodbye for now. Take care.